And I talked a little bit over that intro.
That's okay. I forgive you.
It's fine. Everything's I feel like I was being a little bit rude to the Daybreak intro after we talked about how awesome the map was, though.
That intro was as good as the Metropolis intro,
yeah,
though.
because it didn't have the best music.
No, it didn't. I didn't feel like I was in a European club. I love feeling like that, Wolf. Well, why don't you go ahead and tell us who these players are?
I will. At the top right, our red Terran player from the team Prime. He is
MarineKing Prime.
Very, very aggressive. Falling into a little bit of pressure early on, but coming back in that last game with great decision-making against his opponent, who's down here at the bottom left, our blue Protoss from the team Startail. He is
Pati.
a bit of a rivalry has brewed between these players. They've played against each other so many different times in important situations. We talked a little bit about the controversial GSTL match earlier as well, and just to see these guys going at, they both came from MLG. They're both equally tired. They're both probably even on the same flight. I can't imagine them being on different flights. I mean, the playing field here is level, and I am really excited to see the final map, Daybreak. It just makes everything so much better.
Well, you say they're both equally tired, but it's a possibility. Those planes are big. Maybe someone sat next to some guy that was snoring. Maybe someone sat behind a kid that was crying. And whoever wins this, I'm going to go ahead and say their opponent was the one.
That's a pretty bold statement to make, but you could be right.
Yeah. Pretty bold statement, man.
Parting he's actually coming in here. He hasn't seen the command center yet, so he may think MarineKing is proxying barracks. He actually is not going to see that, and that may alter his build entirely. He's probably not going to cut any corners this time.
And not just that, well, this is a longer map, and I wouldn't expect him to send probes anyways because of the length of this map and how long it would take those probes to get across. But even if he did, with that command center being in the main base instead, the probes would not be nearly as useful.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, he has it up against the edge. The SCV will dance around to the side a whole lot. That's just...
yeah, you never want to send up the ramp.
He might be unsure of that strategy. He may not have really run into that all that much, and he might say, you know what, just in case. Just in case.
Definitely. The MarineKing hide there. Okay, so he feels comfortable now. He's seen the timing of the barracks. There's no way it would be a 2 proxy barracks and then those late 2 barracks going down afterwards. That just wouldn't make sense. Yeah. And plus, he would have seen the orbital go up a little bit faster as well if those barracks were going down earlier. So, very good reaction here by Parting. Still cutting the corners, putting the probes in gas late, getting the later core.
Yeah, and he's still, he didn't see the command center. So, I think that's why his probe is being pretty active on the map still. Because, I mean, that command center, I can't believe he actually didn't scout that yet. It's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But he keeps checking for it, so I think at this point, he understands what's going on.
Yeah, he's very aware. He just wants to make sure. That's why he continues to scout. One of the reasons why I find these two players to be so interesting to watch when they play against each other is that they both play macro games. They both play their very traditional style against each other. Neither of them, even in a best of 3, is pulling out the 4-gate, pulling out even the 3-gate expand. They're just very much so doing their same builds every time. Now, Parting is looking like he's considering making the 3rd Nexus here. He had the probe over there. He's just checking around, making sure there are no barracks. To make the 3rd Nexus now would be way too early, but he looked like he might do it.
Yeah, when he brought his probe over there, I think he might have, just in case, because he didn't see the command center, been looking. Did he make another Rax over here?
Yeah, just
that
making
type of
sure.
Thing? Because, I mean, that was not the right timing for a Nexus. That would be, like, really silly to put a Nexus down right then.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised if he does that here.
I was just thinking, what if MarineKing eBay blocks here just because it looks like he's going to be taking a fast 3rd Nexus, and with the SCV over here, he does it. A genius move, and the engineering bay is the fastest building, cheap Terran building. That's why it's the one chosen for things like this. In this case, because he was spotted, though, it doesn't end up being as effective as he wanted it to be.
Yeah, if that thing's almost finished, then MarineKing leaves. It takes even longer, especially if a probe finds it. But Parting not yet deciding to actually do that. He's actually throwing down another gateway. So not completely sure exactly what Parting wants to do. He is mining out of both gases. So we might see a pressure build coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's adding 3 gates, Wolf.
Yeah, he's
definitely going to be that pressure build.
Same 4-gateway pressure build we saw in the first game, and this build is just so effective because Parting is a player who normally MarineKing was so sure that he was going to take a third Nexus that he built an eBay to block. That is how this type of build works out, where Parting has taken a strategy that's very aggressive and very unlike him to do, and he's using it here. And he's going for the old school 6-gate. He's even going up to 7.
Is he? Oh my god. This is absolute madness. The 7-gate, this is the MC type of push that we saw him use just so brilliantly early on in the GSL. You know what this says to me? This
says to me, no matter what, if I lose to MarineKing, I know I can beat the STC, and I'm just going to do this. That's actually what this build says to me in this best of 3.
You know what else? Is he knows what MarineKing's standard builds are. In fact, this is more like the build he used on Metropolis, where he's getting the Siege Tank. He's actually in Siege mode as well. Now, if he can actually get Siege mode up at the top of that ramp,
it's going to be exactly what he wants against this type of build.
Yeah. But will he get it there in time? It looks like I'm looking for where the pylons are. I think actually he will have Siege mode and a Siege Tank there before this first hits, and that is going to be deadly.
Yeah, because the sentries are the brunt of this, and the Siege Tanks will take them out so quickly. You can never fight against Siege Tanks with sentries. Never, ever, ever, ever.
Never, ever, 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 ever.
Never, ever, 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 never, ever. Ever, never.
Not at all.
Yeah. Won't be done. All right, now there are 6 sentries here.
And Siege mode is just about to finish.
And it looks like MarineKing is going to have this out just in time. He's already sitting the drop. That's how smart he is. He knows he's secure here.
Well, he's got to be careful. It's that ramp. He might kill off a lot of SCVs, but I mean, those SCVs just want to get up that ramp so they can buffer for the Siege Tank. Siege Tank doing a lot of damage. In fact, he's bringing back that drop.
The medevac back. And I feel like MarineKing kind of botched this a little bit.
Well, you know, I think he actually was caught off guard by this attack. He didn't think this was exactly what was going on. The Siege Tank, of course, would help a lot, but only if he has some Marines back at home as well.
Yep. Now, he's going to force field the ramp again and try to target down more SCVs. Look at the supply, man.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. He's already killed 32 SCVs. I mean, this is looking like the problem for MarineKing.
Yeah, the problem for MarineKing is that he made that third command center. Now there are zealots to buffer here. The Marines can't even retreat. He's losing more and more autosis, and will this be the end?
Well, you know, MarineKing isn't dead. I mean, we look at it, we're like, well, I'm pretty sure you lose, but
he's got better tech, he's got stim, and he does have the third command center, but I just don't think he has enough units now.
Looks like actually this might be the end. Wolf Harding walking up that ramp. Siege Tank coming out, SCV's coming down, but it looks like he just has too many, especially with these Zealots coming in to tank damage.
Yeah, I think this is going to be it for him. You know, taking a page out of MC's book, like I said, I feel like he felt comfortable against either Tasia or his opponent STC. So he was just like, well, I'm going to do this. MarineKing's not going to expect it. If he cuts too many corners, I win.
Yeah.
He's tired, he's jet lagged, he wants to get this over with, and I respect that. Dancing the Zealots in the main base. MarineKing looking very devastated in his booth.
Zealot's not quite as good at dancing as Marines and Marauders, but all right.
Yeah, they look good.
Slightly better at dancing than Wolf.
Look, on Iron Man, they were never really taught to dance. They've only adapted this recently from watching the Terrans do this. So kind of similarly to how things work in our world, but I'm just...
I like that choice by Parting Wolf.
Yeah, I do too.
And here's why. MarineKing, with that eBay, gave him a ton of information about his mindset. Said, I know what you're doing. I'm going to stall it out. And you know what? MarineKing, he's a greedy guy. He's really greedy. He'll throw down a lot of eBays, a lot of command centers if he thinks you're being greedy, or he'll tech way up in pressure.
Yeah.
Now, that 7-gate attack, good against both those. So I like that Parting mixed it up because MarineKing did not expect that. You can see he's getting emotional.
I could see he's getting emotional. You can see in his face a huge amount of tiredness. You know, he looks so tired. He's extremely worn out here. Playing against Parting is not an easy opponent. And now Parting gets up, puts his keyboard away. He's going to get on a train. He's going to go home. He's moved on to the next round. MarineKing, though, has to play more games. And that's what Parting, I think, was trying to avoid here with this strategy. He was like, you know what? Flip a coin here. If I win, I'm out. I'm done. I don't want to do it. And if I lose, I don't have to play against MarineKing again. I have to play against one of these other Terrans, and MarineKing is even a stronger opponent. So what if I just take this easy win and move on? I really feel that's the choice he made here. Plus, like you said, MarineKing with the eBay there showed him that he was expecting a more macro-oriented play.
It's great that Parting actually, and I do feel he switched it up when he saw that eBay. I think he was going for the 3 base. So great moves by Parting. MarineKing, though, still a favorite to get out. Tasia and the STC coming up next, two very strong opponents. And at least he gets to learn some more about their TVT by watching this match.
Yeah, definitely does. And, you know, this game that we just saw, this battle, I just cannot stress enough how the decision of partying to go for this was just very sudden. Like, he just was like, all right, the eBay's there. I'm going for it. I want to win this best of 3. If MarineKing's playing greedy at all, I kill him. If he's not, it's going to be pretty hard to transition. Basically impossible. It's an all-in, essentially. Yeah. But his decision to do that, he's tired. His opponent's tired. I mean, all these factors are kind of swirling around in Parting's head. And Parting didn't wait. He didn't hesitate. He was decisive. And that's something I want to stress about his play overall that I really think that he has over many Pro players is he's decisive. He pulls the probes and goes for the command center. He doesn't wait. And that is something he's got over most pros. He doesn't wait to storm, doesn't wait to do the 7-gate. He doesn't.
And that's something we've seen in many top-level champions before. I'm waiting. I know Parting will get there one day. If not this season, he's looking so good. Wouldn't be surprised. But guys, we'll be right back. A quick 5-minute break, and then the STC against Tasia.